What's going on, guys? Chris with SVT Garage, and we are literally about to get started on the mineral grade Cobra. Before I get into it and just show a video of just me washing the car, I'd like to show you guys what I do, the products I use, and kind of the method of the stuff that I use and the chemicals and all that. So the car is literally, it's dirty, hasn't been washed in a while. We're going to do everything from the door jambs, the motor, back in the trunk, and just the way I do things is the way I do it. I've done it for years. So if you guys just kind of hang out, watch, and we're going to clay this thing, do a iron decon on it, and I'll show you guys all those products I use. But first I want to show you guys my 2-bucket method right here real quick. So what I got right here is I use the red bucket that you see right there. I use that one for just wheels and tires only, and I would use that for like the wheel wells and dirty areas like the door jambs and stuff. I try to keep it separate from the actual paint on the outside of the car. So this right here, you guys have seen me use in the channel. It's a wheel acid, works fantastic on these factory rims. You can't go wrong with it. If you have some aftermarket wheels, like I would not use these on mine. I would not use this on mine because I have the polished metal. You guys can do a non-acid wheel cleaner, and this one is actually pretty decent. It's made by, it's actually made by Turtle Wax. It's not terrible stuff. So I use this on aftermarket wheels, anything that's not factory or powder coated. Powder coated, acid. Wire wheels, acid. Factory wheels, acid. Anything aftermarket that doesn't have a coating on it, like a polished type of wheel, you'll burn it with this. You're safe with a non-acid wheel cleaner. And this stuff, if you guys have ever used any kind of iron decon, that's basically what this stuff smells like. But in the wheel bucket, I just got all my wheel stuff that I would use in here, and anything for removing bugs off the front of the car. The blue bucket I use for just paint exterior only. I got my wash mitts, I got my clay bar, and on the bottom there I got the grate to remove any of the dirt and stuff on these pads. I try to eliminate any contamination on the car itself. And then for this car, I just picked up a new product I'm kind of trying out. It's an actual clay mitt. I do like this style. These can go, this is a clay pad. This does go on a DA. I typically use it by hand. They're not crazy aggressive. I do like it. But I decided to try this out. So this car here is going to be the test mule for that. I might switch to this because I've heard good things about these. And we're going to flip the camera around on this side. And then what I do, because again, I'm getting this car ready for ceramic coating and a paint correction. In my foam cannon here, I got my water and my soap, and I added a strip shampoo. This strips anything off the car that may be on their wax, other ceramics, anything like that, because I want this as just bare paint as I can get to. And then I'll go back and I'll use my iron and fallout remover. This takes any kind of material, iron that's left on the paint, so that when I do my paint correction, it's just strictly just going to be the paint, nothing else is on the car. And then after you do that, any of these, especially the strip shampoo and the iron remover and the clay bar, if you guys do not ceramic the car, because some people don't, some people like just traditional waxes and polishes, you have to put that on after you do this, because again, if you don't, your clear coat is pretty much it's just open to the elements, and there's nothing really on there protecting it. So again, you guys use this or this, please put some kind of protectant back on the car, whether it's a polish or a ceramic or something new graphene stuff. All right, guys, but we're about to get started. I'm gonna flip this camera back around. I'm gonna do kind of like a fast forward thing through this, and as I'm done, what I'll probably do is explain some of the stuff I do with the pressure washer. But guys, stick through it. This is the first wash of the mineral gray, and we're gonna get this thing back to what it should be. basically saw the whole fast forward on us washing and claying the car. What you might have seen with the pressure washer is, you know, some people don't pressure wash their motors. I've pressure washed every car motor that I've ever owned, and customers' cars. You can run into issues doing that, so you got to be super careful. I never put direct pressure on it. As you can see, I was keeping a distance from the motor when I was doing that. And when I went in there and I used the brush, I was going super light with it. To me, the motor's not terribly dirty; it's more dusty. But I will go back a couple times and I wash the car and do it just like you saw, and do it all in like 2 or 3 steps rather than just one aggressive step. But in the meantime, I will use other stuff in between and get that just, you know, a little cleaner each time I go. But totally fine to use a pressure washer. You do got to be careful with pressure near the coil pack covers on these cars. Again, I've never had any issues, but I'm not putting that thing super close on there. So if you're doing it that way, you should be totally fine. And then, if you guys saw, I blew out the door jambs with the pressure washer. I think it's a great, convenient way of doing it. You don't get any water inside the car when you're doing it that way. And I never spray the door panels as well. I keep it low. I use about half that fan on the head of that pressure washer nozzle. So again, it's super safe and convenient. And then when you go out and wipe it afterwards, it just leaves us way better outcome if you do it like that. Again, I've done 1,000 cars that way. I've never had any issues, and it always comes out great. And then we came back, we hit the wheel wells. We acid washed these wheels. We did acid wash them, and they came out great. And then, if you guys saw, we used a clay mitt, and that foam cannon did have that strip shampoo in it. So I let that sit for a couple minutes on the car to do its thing. I don't let it dry on there. And then we came back, clayed it, hit it with the wash mitt, rinsed it off, and then for about 3 to 5 minutes I let that iron decon sit on here. And it does have like a purple haze to it, and if you see it in the driveway, it actually turns the driveway super purple because of all the contaminants in the driveway. But on the car, there wasn't a whole lot, so it really didn't flash or react too aggressively. Again, that's super common, but it did have a purple haze to it when you're up on it. And then if I do see it in that 3 to 5 minutes, it looks like it's getting dry, either I'll mist it with the pressure washer or just the pressure washer off, and just hitting the trigger with whichever pressure comes out of that. I'll just soak the car down and just get it damp and then let it sit again for that 3 to 5, and then you just go through. Some products say, hey, hit it with a microfiber or a washcloth and then rinse it. Some say wash it, spray it, and rinse it. The one that I use, the G-Technic, again says wash it, spray it, let it sit, and then spray it off. So, and again, it works well. But what I want to do is I'm going to do this panel. So again, I'm not going to bore you with the whole car, but I'll show you guys on the fender. I'm starting the paint correcting process on this. This paint isn't bad shape at all. You can see some little hash marks in it, those small little micro scratches. Again, that's probably just from years of washing it, maybe drying it with a towel, or something on the mitt, whatever. Not a big deal, super common. There's no real area on the car that needs like a 3-step. So I think what I'm going to do is just hit this panel with a 1-step, see how it looks, and then again, that's the next step for this thing getting ceramic coated. But today, I think what we're going to end up doing, we're not going to ceramic coat it today, but because it's getting late, it's almost 6. I will get most of the paint correcting done, if not all of it today. But I just want to show you guys what I use when I'm doing anything polishing wise. You guys will see I got the air hose stretched out. I like using a spray nozzle like this, and then I just in between panels I'll blow the pad out just to get any kind of dust off it, so I'm not transferring dust all over the car itself. Just blow it out real quick. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Super quick process on that. I do like, for the single step paint correcting, I do use Sonax number 4. Guys, this stuff works. Would you pair it with a Rupus yellow pad, the medium cut, and this, you get a fantastic finish on your paint. A very beginner level as well, so if you're at the house and you guys are debating on doing this yourself, you can save a lot of money if you have the products. If you don't, like, again, I like Rupus stuff. You know, this polisher itself is top notch. This one was, you know, just came out. This was a pre-order, but this thing here itself is $800. But again, I do a lot of these cars, so something that's light, handles very well, and I can maneuver with it because I got no cord. It helps me out a ton. But the Rupus line is great. If I was to do a 3-step, I would do the complete Rupus lineup on that. But since I'm just doing the single, we're going to just use the Sonax number 4 again, guys. I use this a ton. So I'm kind of just getting the pad. I'm just going to end up just getting it kind of ready for the rest of the car. So we can go a little heavy on the first one here. Spread it evenly. What I do is I'll start at a low RPM, probably around 1.5, and then spread it. And then you're going to see me come back. I'm going to bump it up to about 3.5, 4, and then you'll see me move at a pretty slow rate. And that's realistically, if you want to time it, about 1 inch a second. And that's a great speed and momentum when you're doing a paint correcting on any car. So here, let's get started. So I'm doing on this first one here, just real quick, I'm priming the pad, so that's why it's a little heavy. Normally you don't, on the rest of the panels, you're not going to go this heavy, but since the pad's dry, and it's my first initial panel, again, I'm just kind of getting the pad ready for the rest of the car. What I just did here, just spread it evenly all the way through. That's all I did. Super low RPM so it doesn't sling everywhere. And then I'm going to bump it up. We'll start at 3.5 and go from there. So again, about 1 inch a second is what I typically do for something like this. And you don't have to bear down on the pad. Super light pressure as well, maybe medium pressure at best. pretty much it for the fender. And if you notice, what I didn't say at the beginning was I do about 50-50 on the path, so I'm overlapping the entire time I'm doing the fender. It comes out really good that way. But again, guys, I'm going to do that to the whole rest of this car. That's why it kind of takes a little bit. But if you take your time and do it right, you'll get a great outcome. And, you know, the paint, I wish I could show you guys just how clean this looks. Let's see if I can get the camera close enough to see it. It's already popping, and then once I put the ceramic on this, it's going to look so much better as well. But again, too, when you do it with that setup right there, you don't really need a swirl remover either, because it doesn't. Those two products together don't cause any swirling. But you can see there's virtually nothing in the paint now. So again, if you're gonna do it, just take your time, don't rush it, and you gotta keep the pad moving because you can obviously burn the clear. So just be careful, guys. What I'm gonna do now is just stop the video here, finish the paint correcting, and then what we'll do is we will get another video. I'll do a walk around after that process is all done. But all right, guys, stay tuned for that. All right, guys, we are done with that paint correction. It is 7:45-ish, probably around 2 hours on this. Unfortunately, I don't have time for the ceramic tonight, but I just wanted to get give you guys a quick peek on how clean that thing came out. Again, this is 20 years old. This has never been done on the car before. And I mean, just look how clean that is with the light. It came out really well. I'm super happy with it. We'll do a quick walk around, but guys, the next coming videos, I'm going to try to get these headlights apart. If they won't, looking at it a little more, it might be on the inside of the light. So unfortunately, I might have to take them apart and do it. We will see. But again, I just want to do a quick walk around of this car and show you guys what we got going on. The wheels, guys, they came out so nice. These are, again, 20-something years old. I used the wheel acid on them. I can't stress how awesome that product is. It's made for wire wheels, and again, if your wheels are powder coated or they have like a clear on them, or the factory, any factory wheel, that stuff works awesome on. I would not use it on like my wheels that I have on the red car. Those ones are polished, they're bare, so it will burn a product like that. But something like this, guys, look how nice that looks. But again, that's just my opinion. That's the stuff I use, and I like it a lot. But we'll continue around the car. I mean, it came out so good. I don't think this car's ever had this done before, and it came out so nice. The roof. Again, that's a single stage. That's not even a 3-step. That's just a single step. So when you're doing these paint corrections, you don't have to go any more than what the car needs. And this is with no ceramic. Again, I'm going to ceramic this in hopefully a couple days. I got a couple big jobs coming in, so we'll try to get to that. But coming around the back here, this is the next thing. Again, real quick, that's just going to pop in and pop out, and that's done. I did take the plate off because I wanted to just even across the board there, and again, it came out pretty good. Then passenger side, same thing. The car really just speaks for itself. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This thing is it's too clean. But if you guys got any questions on the process, the products I use, or whatever, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. So you got any questions, I'll give you my honest opinion. I use this stuff because, I feel like it gets the job done very well, and I never have issues with it. But guys, this is the new car. It's going to be on the channel. We're going to do some pretty cool stuff with it. I'm itching. I've been looking around for a dyno I can just throw this thing on, and I'd love to get like a base number of what this thing is doing, bone stock, 20 years later. But yeah, we'll get to that. Anyways, guys, this thing has just turned out so nice. If you got any questions, comment. But again, Thanks for the subscriptions, the comments, the likes, all that, guys. It goes a long way. So I really, really appreciate it. And just keep coming. Until next time, it will be ceramic coated. I'll probably do the same thing, show us just a single panel or maybe two. So you can, if you guys want it done, let me know. Or if you want to, try it yourself. It's kind of just some good time to just learn how to do that during your own car, and it's super simple. But guys, again, SVT Garage, and we'll get with you soon.